have come to honor and celebrate the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. As we celebrate his great accomplishments, we remember how he was a champion for justice, civil rights, human rights, voting rights, and so much more. I pray we'll continue to fight the good fight of faith. May we never be satisfied as long as there is one hungry family or a family without health insurance. Please heal our land of discrimination, poverty, injustices, drug addiction, and violence of every kind. Protect us, intervene, and bring the government shutdown to a successful conclusion. Help, comfort, and strengthen the federal employees and their families who are affected by all of this. Grant every clergy, elected and public official the wisdom to make right decisions and be instrumental in making our communities and world better. Bless this food we ask. Amen.
Amen. Good morning, Lynn North Shore. Isn't it so wonderful to be here again? It's so gratifying looking out and seeing so many familiar faces, smiling and looking back at me. I'd like to welcome you all to the 33rd annual Dr. Martin Luther King Breakfast Celebration. And this year is a special year, as not only do we recognize a day of service, but it also would have been his 90th birthday. Dr. King is known for many things. He was a Baptist preacher, a humanitarian. He was known for peace, freedom, justice, and equality for all.
All right.
So let's just, as we move forward and enjoy our day together, let us renew man and world-kind peace. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much for that, Gail. At this time, we'd like to bring forward the Honorable Thomas McGee, Mayor of the City of Lynn.
Thank you, and great to be here with all of you this morning on a really cold and icy day. It's great to see a room full of people here, remembering Martin Luther King Jr. and all of his work. And I have some written remarks, but I think I'd like to just, before I get started, I had a chance to see the movie Selma at Lynn City Hall Friday night. And you know, many of you have seen it, and if you haven't, it's an amazing movie and tells an amazing story about what Martin Luther King Jr. understood, I think, clearly in the mid-1960s, that voting rights for every American was something that really was the focal point for that time and place. And it tells the story of the fight and then the final passage of the 1965 Voting Rights Act. And it really tells the story about how tough that battle was, what happened during that period of time, the losses of life that were played into that, both at the Edmund Pettus Bridge and in other places, and the recognition that the right to vote is the key piece of what makes this great country the greatest country in the world. So I would, it was pretty powerful to see that. I've had a chance to read the book, Give Us the Vote, because over the last 50 years, literally 9 months after that legislation was passed, the attempts and the attacks on that legislation began, and it continues. So I think it was a powerful way for me to look at what this weekend is all about, but more importantly, what Martin Luther King Jr. was all about. So if you haven't had a chance to see the movie, I would say, please, it tells a strong, powerful story about the importance of voting, but more importantly, the importance of civil rights and what it means to be an American. I want to thank the Community Minority and Cultural Center for inviting me to the 33rd annual Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. Breakfast. We come together today to pay tribute to Dr. King's extraordinary life and legacy. Dr. King, with strength and courage, fought a long and hard battle for justice and equality. Dr. King encouraged a whole generation to see the threat of injustice and to fight back through nonviolent resistance. Dr. King gave a voice to those who felt voiceless and fought for the presence of opportunities for everyone. We must take inspiration from Dr. King's legacy and strive to combat the injustices of our time. We must continue to fight to secure economic opportunity and access to quality education for all. We must ensure that people are not discriminated based on race, religion, natural origin, color, gender, sexual orientation, or identity. Remember Dr. King's words, everybody can be great. because anybody can serve. You don't need a college degree to serve. You don't have to make your subject and verb agree to serve. You don't have to know the second theory of thermodynamics to serve. You only need a heart full of grace, a soul generated by love. We're all capable of creating those changes. Let us rise up to the challenge of protecting those around us that are most vulnerable and ensure that we are making the world better for future generations. Dr. King had the faith that the world could be changed for the better. He once said, "Faith is taking the first step, even when you don't see the whole staircase." Dr. King was willing to take a leap of faith for what he knew was right, even if he did not see a path forward. Today, as Lynners, we come together on this day to honor the legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and we recognize that we all are created equal, and we have responsibility to make sure that we are all treated as equals. And we recognize the 90th birthday of Martin Luther King Jr. Last year, we also recognized the 200th birthday of Frederick Douglass, a true Lynner. And as Frederick Douglass said, and this is something that's very special, and I know Brendan Crichton knows it, and he worked hard to make sure it was part of the new Senate, because it's on the Senate chamber walls, which is new and really recently opened in January. As Frederick Douglass said, truth, justice, liberty, and humanity will ultimately prevail. Thank you all for being here today.
Thank you very much for those remarks, Mayor McGee. Again, we'd like to thank everybody for coming out this morning. It's a very frigid day, icy out there. A number of people have made their donations to us, but informed us they wouldn't be making it because of the weather. So again, we appreciate each and every one of you who did make the trek to come out here this morning to honor Dr. King. It's just a blessing, and just we're honored to have you here this morning. So again, thank you very much for that. At this time, we're supposed to have a solo by Mr. Michael Wheeler, but he's under the weather, so we're just going to move forward with the program. Before I bring forth Dr. Tutwiler, I'd just like to say a few words myself. Again, my name is Darryl Murkison. I am the Secretary for the Community Minority Cultural Center. And just thinking about the legacy of Dr. King, this past week, I was watching television, and the State of the City address came on for the city of Boston. Mayor Walsh made what I thought was a very poignant and just a heartfelt speech about how the progress has been made in the city of Boston. And as he was making that speech, I thought, what about Lynn? Lynn can do the same types of things. He stressed that he was looking for diversity in his city and all his cabinets, all the workforce in the city of Lynn, and all the strides that in the city of Boston, all the different things that they made. And again, I'm thinking, that sounds very good. What about Lynn? We can do the same things. We have a diverse community. We have people that are progressive and forward thinking. We have people who are committed to their city and making it better. We have a new mayor. We have new elected officials here in our city council that are forward thinking. We have a new school committee. We have a new superintendent. We have a new fire chief. We have a lot of different things moving forward in the city of Lynn. And Mayor Walsh said he thought that Boston could be a model not only for the state, not only for the country, but a model for the world. And everyone gave him a rounding applause. And again, I believed in what he was saying. So I say to each and every one of you, we're coming up on another election cycle. There's going to be elected officials coming up this fall, so you'll be seeing people that are going to announce some of your elected officials here this evening, this morning. They'll be looking for your support and your vote. So it's incumbent upon you, citizens in the city of Lynn, to exercise your right to vet and explore what these officials can do to make Lynn a better place. But you have to get out and vote. You have to be involved, because it's your city, it's our city. And we can make it better. We all can make it better. So we're reaching out to Mayor McGee, all the city councilors, our state reps, our state senators, our school committee, our superintendent, our police and fire department, all of which need our support, and we can make Lynn a better place. So I just thought I'd be able to say that this morning, and hopefully people will take that to heart. And we look forward to another election cycle, and everybody coming out. We'll be having voter registration and education at the Community Minority Cultural Center. We'll be educating people on the ballot questions, all those things you need to do to make things better. So look forward to a great year. So at this time, I'm just going to make some acknowledgments of some of the public officials that are here this morning. Again, we'll start with our Honorable Mayor Thomas McGee. Our State Senator Brendan Crichton. If you don't mind, just stand up a little bit, Brendan, Mr. Mayor, so they can see you. Brendan Crichton. Our Westland State Rep, Mr. Peter Capano. Eastland State Rep, Dan Cahill. We have our councilors at large, Mr. Brian Field. Councilor at large, Brian LaPierre. Councilor at large, Buzzy Barton. Our ward councilors, I did not see Wayne Losey here this morning. Is Wayne around?
Aruba.
That's Ward 1.
He's a good Ward 1.
Rick Starbuck, Ward 2. Okay, Ward 3, Darren Sear. I saw Darren come in. Ward 4, I did not see Rich Calucci. Is he here? Okay, Ward 4 is Rich Calucci. Ward 5, Diana Chakutis. I didn't see her either. Not here? Okay. Ward 6. All right, I did speak with, I would say newly appointed Ward 6 councilor would be Fred Hogan. He's out of town as well, but he sends his blessings for Ward 6. Ward 7, Jay Walsh. School committee members that are here this morning, I see Ms. Donna Capola. Jared Nicholson. Michael Satterwhite. I didn't see the others.
They're in Aruba.
Okay. I also have the pleasure of introducing our keynote speaker, but he's sitting with the school committee because he's representing the Lynn Public Schools. That would be Dr. Patrick Tutwiler. Okay, allow me one moment. I'd like to read Dr. Tutwiler's bio before we begin. Okay, Dr. Patrick Tutwiler joined the Lynn Public Schools in July 2015 as a deputy superintendent. Leaving his position as headmaster of Brighton High School in Boston, previous to the position at Brighton High School, he was the principal of Wayland High School, dean of students at Westford Academy, and assistant headmaster at English High School in Boston. He began his career as a world history and United States history teacher at Brighton High School. Dr. Tutwiler holds a Bachelor of Arts degree in history from the College of the Holy Cross, and a Master's of Education from Harvard University, and a graduate of School of Education, and a Doctor of Philosophy in Curriculum and Instruction from Boston College's Lynch School of Education. With respect to his role as superintendent, he operates according to a set or core values easily captured in the following statement. As an educational leaders, we must love the student, the teacher, and the craft of teaching. None more than the other, but in that order. At this time, I'd like to bring forth to you your keynote speaker for this morning, Dr. Patrick Tutwiler, Superintendent of Lynn Public Schools. It's a great honor that I bring Dr. Tutwiler forward. Dr. Tutwiler is the first African American to hold the position of Superintendent of Schools in the city of Lynn's history. Thank you, Dr. Tutwiler.
Good morning. All right, we are here. It's cold, but we are here. We're right where we're supposed to be. I can't begin to tell you how deeply honored I am to stand before you this morning on this momentous and important day. I want to thank Mr. Murkison, Mr. Lott, and the Community of Minority Cultural Center for the invitation. But more importantly, I want to thank you, Mr. Murkison, for your continued efforts toward equality with programs and events, for keeping the conversation alive. Thank you, sir. Now, those who know me well know that I have a formula for speech making, something I call my 3B formula. That is, be good, be brief, and be seated. As an educator, typically the events at which I'm tasked with speaking, folks are really not there to hear me. They're there to see their student receive an honor of some sort or another, not to hear from me, and that's okay. That's not the case today. I was asked to speak, so I'm going to take my time. And I'll start with this question. Why are we here this morning? Make no mistake, we're here in celebration of a great man, one of this world's most significant leaders, a man who used the power of his voice, the profound wisdom of his words, the limitless courage in his actions to inspire change, to change minds, to transform a nation. This is a man who dedicated his life, in fact, gave his life to a relentless pursuit for equality, to a vision. His theory of action: if you change the laws of man, you will change the habits of man, which will eventually change the hearts of man. Changing the hearts of man. What a monumental task. We all know, as Dr. King did, this work cannot be done in one man's lifetime. In fact, this is work that is never finished. This is work that must be continuously tended to, nurtured, talked about, closely monitored, and reflected upon. And equally important, this is everyone's work. Why are we here this morning? We are here in celebration of a great man, one of the world's most significant leaders. Yes, if I may be so bold, there is another reason. We are here this morning to make a renewed commitment to the work. Friends, the work is not done. We find ourselves living in very interesting times right now. At present, we are bearing witness to some of the same acts of injustice, race-based violence, and subjugation that beleaguered our country some 56 years ago when Dr. King delivered his historic I Have a Dream speech. In the educational realm, in my realm, as the nation's K-12 student population becomes increasingly black and brown, the performance and outcome gaps between them and their white counterparts in nearly every measurable data point are widening, not in favor of the black and brown students. Therein, the most at-risk group, black and brown boys, continue to struggle mightily. Anyone heard of the school-to-prison pipeline? In his letter from Birmingham jail, Dr. King declared that anyone who lives inside the United States can never be considered an outsider anywhere within its bounds. I agree wholeheartedly. But the opposite is the unfortunate reality for so many people in our beloved country, and many of them are our students. Friends, the work is everyone's responsibility, and the work is not done. Dr. King reminds us that all labor that uplifts humanity has dignity and importance and should be undertaken with painstaking excellence. Education plays a very important role in uplifting humanity. I know and appreciate fully the importance of our work, and I approach it with that understanding. We are teaching our young scholars how to read, write, and figure. We are also teaching them how to think, be resilient, and to make sense of the world and analyze it with a critical lens. We stress participation, contribution, and community. We work in earnest to inspire our young scholars. I know full well what role education plays in uplifting humanity, and I take it seriously. This is my life's work, and that's me. Maybe it's in the blood. I come from a long lineage of teachers and ministers. My mother and older brother are educators, and my younger sister is a police officer in Chicago. We have decided to uplift humanity through our respective vocations. That's us. But this is everyone's work, and the work is not done. One need not dedicate his or her life to a vocation to engage in the work. No, not at all. Be someone's hero. At least once in your life, do something difficult or extraordinary for someone else, not because it will be recognized with praise, but because it's the right thing to do, because it adds to or protects the human experience. As a kid, I recall my mother sharing her memory of April 5th, 1968, the morning after Dr. King was assassinated. She was an 18-year-old college student at the time, attending school on the north side of Chicago. When news spread, classes were canceled. My mother, her older sister, and a number of their friends needed to get home to the predominantly African-American west and south sides of Chicago. As they dismissed from school, they stepped out into the atmosphere in the community, which was one of intense anger, profound sorrow, fear, and raw disillusionment. My mother recounted that she was angry, but mostly overwhelmed by fear. Given the atmosphere, my mother and her friends worried that the normal modes of transportation, the bus and the train, might not be safe, and many lines had been canceled for safety. As they stood outside, desperate to get home, to grieve, to be safe, but with few options, a young man stepped up and offered to drive them home. He was white. To this day, my mother feels deeply indebted to this individual. She never knew his name or if even he was a student, and she never saw him again. All she knows is that he summoned the courage to pile 6 young black students into his car and drive into neighborhoods where thousands of African Americans had taken to the streets in response to Dr. King's death. Some angry, some sad, most both. He did so without ever sharing his name or asking for anything in return. That day, he was their hero. You want to engage in the work? In moments where you can extend a hand to safety or give aid to an individual in need, summon the courage and do so. It will undoubtedly leave an indelible mark on the beneficiary of your acts, but more importantly, it will add to our common humanity. It will reflect the sort of togetherness our community, our country, this world needs to move us closer to the dream Dr. King spoke of so eloquently. Why are we here this morning? We are here to celebrate the life and legacy of Dr. King. Make no mistake, I know my life would be demonstrably different were it not for his brilliance, his stubborn drive for what's moral and just. Quite frankly, all of our lives would be different. On this day, I fully appreciate the time and space to reflect on his mission and his vision. We all should. Immediately thereafter, it behooves us to acknowledge the fact that the work is not done, and that the work of uplifting humanity is everyone's responsibility. Whether through one's vocation, summoning the courage to do something extraordinary for someone else, or something even smaller, on this day, we need to make the recommitment to the work. That, my friends, is the reason why we're here. Now, long ago, long time ago, I was a student athlete, and I played basketball. After every timeout, we used to break the huddle with a clap of the hands and a shout of the word together. It became cliche, and yes, it's a little trite and embarrassing, but the meaning behind it isn't. We said that because it was only through togetherness that we would achieve something. It was only through individual contributions to a collective mission that we would be successful. When I think of the challenges we have before us this day, near and far, my friends, this sentiment, the need for togetherness, is profound. On this day, both in celebration of Dr. King and to renew our collective pledge to uplift humanity, perhaps we should proceed in the same way we made collective commitments on my college basketball team a long time ago. On the count of 3, I want you all to shout together as loud as you can. 1, 2, 3. Together! Thank you very much.
All right, we can do better than that. Dr. Patrick Tutwiler, thank you for that. Thank you for that inspirational speech. Thank you, thank you. All right, thank you very much. As we move along the program quickly, people might be wondering why we had our keynote speaker kind of speak in the middle of the program. Because he has another commitment that he has to make his way to, as well as the mayor. Again, Mayor McGee, thank you for everything. And just after this quickly, just going back just a little bit very quickly, as I was listening to that speech given by Mayor Monty Walsh of Boston, I called a few people that night to try to reach out to them and see if they were feeling and thinking what I was thinking, and they did agree with me. But as I spanned that crowd, I'm looking at television. Who did I see? Someone who could attest to what Mayor Walsh said was our own Mayor Thomas McGee in that audience. So, Mayor McGee knows exactly what I was speaking of. Exactly what I was speaking of. And again, I'd be remiss in my duties if I did not acknowledge a couple other people in this room this morning. Number 1 would be our own Chief of Police, Fire Department, Mr. Stephen Archer, Chief of Lynn Fire Department. Also a Lynn man, born and raised in Lynn, but now he is the chief of the MBTA Police Department, Mr. Kenneth Green. Okay, yeah. Thank everybody for that. And moving forward with the program, what we'd like to do again is we try to do things a little bit different and be a little more progressive. We have our traditional way of doing things. We usually have some gospel singing and just trying to, right now we're trying to meld the old with the new, all right? So not only will we have some traditional singing by a group called Purpose, we also have some young people from Lynn and Metropolitan Boston that are here. They're gonna give us some performances here this evening, but it lets us look into look through a lens of the younger people in our society. We have a way of doing things, but so do they. And we like to let them know that they count. It's their time, it's their world, all right? We want to give them some direction, but they have their own mind, their way of doing things, because the world is theirs to live in. So we're going to give them that platform as well. Again, thank you, Dr. Tutwiler. He's going to another event. Thank you again. Give him another round of applause as he leaves. MLK, we're going to start out with a little bit of the new, but what we need from you right now, we only have like one microphone, so we need the crowd or the audience just to work with us a little bit. We need you to just keep it low and control so we can hear these artists project and enunciate themselves. We have Miss Michelle La Poetica.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How is everybody?
Wonderful.
My name is Michelle La Poetica, and I come from a little empire called Density. Density stands for Developing Expressions Now, Creating Initiatives Through You. You could be any one of you, could be all of you. I know it's a lot of the people sitting at that table. We're here today to share pieces of our soul with you because I feel like it's important. But before we continue, I want you to acknowledge yourselves first. Take a look around you. See the different hues of skin, the different textures of hair, the different facial structures. Look at yourselves for a moment and acknowledge that the dream is happening. Yes. Right here, right now. We are proof of that. Every Monday night at this little cafe called the Walnut Street Cafe, we come together and we vibe as one. Doesn't matter where you come from, doesn't matter what flag your parents waved at one time, doesn't matter what drugs you were addicted to at one point in time or another, because there's a lot of people struggling. There's a lot of people going through it. And in our little cafe, we welcome everybody. All you have to do is come with love and peace and the intention to heal and help others heal through your truth and your story. I am proud to say, as my father's daughter, I am a poet. I was born with the gift to take words and weave them together. A lot of the people at that table can do the same. A lot of the people at that table can also sing. We have a human beatboxer in that table. And we have a lot more of that at our cafe. We welcome you to come tonight. Every Monday night, we come together at this cafe and we vibe as one. Now, Martin Luther King Jr. had a dream. I, Michelle La Poetica, have a wish. And I wish more people would take off that comfortable mask they call patriotism and realize that, like it or not, we are all products of the infamous melting pot that brews the American dream through a dim flame, cutting the gas bought by those that seek to destroy us right before it comes to a boil, thus never allowing it to cook properly. And then they had the nerve to tell me where my allegiance should lie? And I'm not going to cry, rant, or rave. I'll find some kind of acceptance through being an indentured slave, living from paycheck to paycheck, never being able to call anything mine. And I know at the end of the day, no matter how hard I work or try, Uncle Sam is the only one eating the quote-unquote piece of the American pie. And it's true feeling. Tell me how fitting it is that America, hello my sister, finds the ways and means to feed the world while the ones that live here are left to die homeless and penniless because of the budget cuts and the downsizing. We're known to feed the bellies of the monsters before their uprising. And then we give them a ticket to fly the plane that swoops down to blow up the hand that feeds them. Say it. I find it ironic and even more so pathetic that I can't get help to put my boys through private schools, but they gladly provide the tools to educate those that want to cause harm. And then they want to pass laws to chase away the only workers on the farm, and they don't yield with the ones in the field that work to provide a weak meal to those they left behind. Yet they find it just and quite fine that the murderer of a child gets 3 meals a day, free housing, education, and recreation off my pay, but the hardworking miserables can't stay. And they're forced to live in fear day by day because they don't bear that green ticket in their pocket to the all-you-can-eat buffet of the American dream apple pie that they can't eat. Yes, sir. It's a heck of a lot easier to talk it without putting on those worn-out shoes and trying to walk it with the weight of supporting a family that you haven't seen in years on your back. All of this because you lack that green card that you can swipe through an INS scanner and hear it tell you, yes, you can go see your loved ones, and then come back to this hellhole when you're done and return to the daily grind. Besides feeling unkind, doesn't your conscience feel a little off whack? As you sit there trying to build walls and tell me to go back to where I came from? I was born right here, you insignificant crumb. And if you check back through the years, you'll find the truth in your family tree. And oh, say you will see someone, 2 or 3 from your family cross these borders by land or C. It doesn't matter if their neighbor jotted down in a log in Ellis Island or X in Plymouth Rock, you fool. None of us are 100%. It's the catch-22. Stitched right into your red, white, and blues now. I'm gonna smile as I remember that you're ignorant, because the only truth is that American equals immigrant.
All right. Skills out there. Let us know.
How y'all feeling? Good. You feel good?
Feel great.
So when I say feel good, you heard the table already. When I say feel good, you say what?
Feel great.
Feel good?
Feel great.
Feel good?
Feel great.
I don't hear y'all over here. Y'all feel good over here?
Feel great.
Okay, well, we're about to give you some soul today. I know it's early, but it's never too early to have a little bit of soul in your heart, right? A little bit of sunshine in these dark times, because we need it. Each and every one of us is born with the ability to be a lighthouse, to be a beacon in this dark days we're living in. So I ask you, do you choose to be the candle or the mirror that reflects it? My artist, beautiful, amazing, creative soul, stand up. And this is my family. None of them are bound to me by blood, but our creative gifts, our struggle, our pain, our love to see what we see before us here today. Our love to touching people without laying a hand on them. Our love for moving people without laying a hand on them. Our love makes us family. Our love makes us one. So we have this little thing that we do called a soul cipher. For that we need a beat. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce to you a Lynn native, Choppa Tha Beatboxa. And he's a beast. I hope y'all have seatbelts under those chairs.
Hey, how's everybody doing this afternoon, this morning? Is it afternoon yet?
Not yet.
Not yet. This morning. I go by the name of Choppa Tha Beatboxa, just so you guys know.
Real quick though, y'all understand what our culture is about? We are born with rhythm in our blood. We are born with rhythm in our souls. We have this soul about us, right? And it's because we laugh to not cry. Because it's hard living this life in this skin. It's real hard. But we get through it, we get by. Sometimes all we need is a little beat.
Some noise. Thank you.
Y'all know this one, right? Come on.
When the night has come, and the land is dark, and come on, this beyond me, like we'll see. No, I won't be afraid. No, I won't be afraid. Just 'cause I'm let's go stand by me. Sing it. Oh, darling, darling, stand by me. Together, baby.
All right.
Thank you. And I just want to let y'all know one thing, because, you know, we're all here as a community. I go by the name of Choppa Tha Beatboxa, but my real name is Brian Fowler. I don't know if anybody in here knows Fowlers by hand. I see Mr. Pitcher there. Okay, I work for Fowler Landscaping. Okay, we have a business. Been in business since the year 2000. And I was in high school when my father started this business. And we're a small company, but we're a big company at the same time, and we serve the community around us. Mr. Pitcher, we do serve you, bro, right? You see? But again, I want to thank you guys. Thanks for the energy. I appreciate this day. I can't even believe I'm a part of this, but at the same time, I do believe, because I envisioned this when I was little. I envisioned performing in front of crowds, in front of, you know, it didn't matter the faces. You see this type of event, when do you see a beatboxer? At these type of events, right? And I'm the only one, you know what I mean? So I want to inspire kids. Maybe this girl might get inspired, who knows, you know? But anyways, I want to thank you guys again. Thanks for your energy. And Michelle, where you at? She's going to take the mic back over. Thank you.
How y'all like that? All right. So we gave y'all a beat. Now we're going to give you some sugar. You ready for some sugar? Yeah. All right, we're going to give you some sugar then. Where my Limitless at? Ladies and gentlemen, this young man is also a Lynn native. And he can sing. That's all I'm going to say about that. He goes by the name of Limitless, and I think in his name, we should again look at ourselves and realize that that means a lot. The fact that we are here is the fact that we are limitless in our potential. Because 20 years ago, this wouldn't have been possible. 30 years ago, this wouldn't have been possible. 40 years ago, and the further you go back, the less people in this room. Some of us wouldn't be able to get in the building. So this means a lot, and I thank you, each and every one of you, for taking time today to support this committee that put this together, to support each other, and to support us.
How's everybody doing today? My name is Limitless, but my real name is Dennis Hernandez. Again, it is a huge honor to be part of an event like this, and
order from all your favorite.
I just feel like
restaurants you love.
due to the purpose on why we all here, it's amazing that, you know, like Michelle said, we have all these different faces together, joined as one to come for one purpose, one reason only. So this is beautiful. It's beautiful that we all here, and I feel like we should acknowledge that fact. One man made it possible. We all here, and we're able to do what we can do. So go ahead and hit that job.
Turn it up higher.
Oh no, yeah. Listen. Girl, I'm in love with you. This ain't the honeymoon, past the infatuation phase. Right in the thick of love. At times we get sick of love. Seems like we argue every day. I know I misbehaved. You made your mistakes. We both still got room left to grow. As though love sometimes hurts, I still put you first. We'll make this thing work, but I think we should take it slow, 'cause we're ordinary people. We don't know which way to go, yeah, 'cause we're ordinary people. Maybe we should take it slow. Take it slow, oh, 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 yeah. This time we'll take it slow. Take it slow, oh, 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 yeah. This time will take it slow. This ain't a movie now, no fairy tale conclusion, y'all. It gets more confusing every day. Oh, sometimes it's heaven sent, then we head back to hell again. We kiss, then we make up on the way. I hang up, you call, we rise and we fall. We feel like just walking away. As all of advances, we take second chances. Though it's not a fantasy, I still want you to stay. Cause we're ordinary people. We don't know which way to go. Yeah. Cause we're ordinary people. Yeah. Maybe we should take it slow. Take it slow, oh, 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 yeah. This time we'll take it slow. Take it slow, oh, no, no, yeah. This time we'll take it slow. Take it slow. Maybe we'll live and learn. Maybe we'll crash and burn. Maybe you'll stay, maybe you'll leave. Maybe you'll return. Maybe another fight. Maybe we won't survive. Maybe we'll grow, we'll never know. Baby, you and I. Cause we're ordinary people. We don't know which way to go. Yeah, yeah. Cause we're ordinary people. Maybe we should take it slow. Take it slow. Take it slow, take it slow, oh, oh, yeah. This time we'll take it slow, take it slow, oh. This time we'll take it slow, take it slow, oh, yeah. This time we'll take it slow, oh.
Yeah. All right.
Well, ladies and gentlemen. I got a classic for y'all. Turn it up a little higher, child. Good looking. Georgia, yeah, Georgia. Georgia on my mind, yeah. I said Georgia, oh, oh Georgia, a song of you comes as sweet and clear as moonlight through the pines. Yeah, oh, oh. Other arms reach out to me. Other eyes, they smile tenderly. Still in I said, Georgia, oh, Georgia. No peace I find, yeah. Just an old sweet song keeps Georgia on my mind. Oh, yeah, yeah. Other arms, they reach out to me. Other eyes, they smile tenderly. Still in peaceful dreams I see the road leads back to you. Oh, I said, Georgia, Georgia. No peace I find, yeah. Just an old sweet song keeps Georgia on my mind, yeah. Oh yeah, just an old sweet song keeps Georgia on my mind.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dennis Hernandez, aka Limitless.
All right, thank you very much for that. Limitless, limitless, limitless. As we heard Dr. Tutwiler speak this morning, he said some of the thoughts and dreams of Dr. King were limitless, and I guess that's just what we call some poetic justice, right? Limitless with us this morning. Thank you. Okay, before we move on to performance at this time, I'd like to bring up Mr. Arthur Akers. He has a scholarship that he wants to present on behalf of his program. Hey, come on, Brother Akers. Always looking to give back. We can't forget about our youth, and as we know, higher education is not cheap. So all the donations and scholarships that you can provide to our young people, they deeply appreciate it. And if you have children in school yourself, I know you'd appreciate to get one.
Thank you, Dad. Alrighty. I want to thank you. Is Mike working?
Yes, sir.
I want to thank the Community Minority Culture Center for allowing me to present the Robin A. Martin Scholarship Award again this year. It's very heartfelt that we present this award. She was a board member of CAP who passed on, and she was just a very special person that cared a lot about young people. The motto of College Application Education Project is to effectuate positive change through effort, attitude, and opportunity. And we've done that throughout our career here in Lynn, and we continue to do so. And one example is that when we first started, Easton High School or Thurgood Marshall High School, middle school, hadn't had a dance in over 25 years. And so we decided to have dances for our young people. And they showed about 500 strong, 500 back. And now to this day, Marshall Middle School has dances for their people and students.
All right.
When we started out, there was no after-school programs for young people in the city of Lynn. I guess you have a union issue or whatever the case may be. Where I understand now, there are after-school programs in the public schools now. So we're very happy about that. It's called Effectuating Positive Change. When we started out, there was no institutionalized trips to different colleges. We went out to Harvard, Yale, the Naval Academy, Syracuse, and places like that. We took our students. And nowadays, the public school system takes schools 10 field trips to colleges every summer. That's called effectuating positive change. The thing that I remiss to do, that I don't understand, when I'm helping people doing things, I kind of go outward, I don't look within. I come here today to apologize to my mother because I went and I was almost in tears. My neighbor, when I was growing up, got a divorce. And I thought that could be the worst thing that anybody could do, is leave their family and get a divorce. And I'm looking at my mother telling her that story with sad eyes, and she didn't say a word, just looked at me. My father was 2,000 miles away. I hadn't seen him for 10 years, and yet I'm empathizing with somebody who's going through divorce. That calls parenting. And she let that pain of not having a father go away by her efforts and go on raising us, and I appreciate that. And I say this because our awardee this year was a person who was bullied growing up. And I said, well, I'm 6'4". How dare somebody bully somebody? Nobody ever bullied me. I'm Arthur Akers. How dare that? How can somebody go through these things? I can crush you with my hands. But you know what? Institutional racism, and oppression do the same and serve the same purpose as bullying. They keep us down. They limit us. But I always said growing up, I said, when I have to fight for racism and oppression, because it's so mechanismized and institutionalized, I'm not gonna deal with a white man. He's not gonna come and slap me in my face. It's gonna be somebody who's close to me, or an institution that I love, that'll try to throw the final blow to support those tentacles of oppression and racism. But I need to show and share with you a story this young lady wrote to me. She said, it's gonna take me, I have to read this because it's so important to hear. And it goes to show how I'm not paying attention, how young people bring you to where you need to be, about bullying and about life. And you don't understand how it affects you in today's world. Well, her letter started off as saying, I am a 10th grade. In the 10th grade, I suffered from intimidating bullying, and because of that, I tried to harm myself because I thought I had no value. It all started the second week of 10th grade when I was changing my clothes in the gym class. A group of girls came to me in the bathroom and threw the trash on me without any reason. I thought they were just playing, but that was just the beginning of my nightmare. In the following days, they kept bothering me. They hid my gym clothes, tore my homework, threw my backpack in the toilet, and one of them threatened me. If one day you say something, we are going to kill you. I was so scared that I left school. I cried a lot, but I couldn't tell my mom anything. My grades started to drop, and I began to suffer from anxiety and depression. I lost weight because I didn't want to eat. I felt like I was alone, like I wasn't worth anything. I started to harm myself by cutting my legs and face with scissors. One day, I was walking in the hallway and they pushed me down the stairs. That day, I came home from school with tears in my eyes. I told my mother that I didn't want to go back to school, and that's when she realized something was wrong. We went to the hospital, and the doctor told my mother that I was suffering from depression. That day, I decided to tell him what was happening at school. My mother started to cry. She contacted the school, and those girls were kicked out. At the end of the school year, I realized that if I had told someone what was happening to me earlier, the bullying would have stopped. I stayed after school, I did summer school, and I worked really hard to pass 10th grade. And yes, I passed, but I promised myself that I will never let anybody else hurt or define who I am. I learned that I am capable, beautiful, smart, and brave.
Yes.
I am enough, and I started to love myself, love who I am. The following year, the school created an association called Link Crew to aid the freshman transition to high school. I am a Link Crew leader at my school because I say no more to bullying. Link Crew and peer mediation helped me tremendously. It taught me to forgive, love, and express myself without fears. When I thought I didn't have any friends, in Link Crew and peer group, I formed many friends. It gave me a reason to move forward and to fight for my dreams because I am not alone in this journey. Through these programs, I have helped others to know it's okay not to be okay, to empower them and not to let others define them. I let them know they are not alone. In Link Crew and peer mediation, we are not just friends, we are family. I learned that when you want something, just need to go for it. You never know until you try. I thank you for your patience for that. This young lady, name is Evelise Cordero, and she now attends and a present attendee at the American Institute International University in London, England. And I'm very happy she got that. She couldn't be here today, but I wanted to call her if I could and let her know that we love her in Lynn, Massachusetts, and not to give up. This is the hard part, trying to work the telephone, I guarantee you. I'm telling you, man, these kids, look at the young person.
I'm young.
If I didn't wear to call her.
How to call her? You gotta get out of here.
Okay, all right, good. Let me see you there. She may have to go to class. I don't know what time it is in London, so she may not answer the phone. But anyway, yeah, I think she may have had to go to class. But if it goes to voicemail, we want to let her know that we love her in Massachusetts. I'll let you know. We're not going to get her. She had to go to class. I apologize. But I wanted her to know that we love her and that she's a great person, and she taught me a very valuable lesson. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, folks. Again, we'll continue to blend and meld the old with the new. So now we have some traditional music.
From the old guys.
I didn't want to say. We're melding the young and the old.
The old guys plus me.
Ladies and gentlemen, Purpose.
What you sing with it? Okay.
Long ago, where have all the flowers gone? Girls have picked them, everyone. When will they ever learn? When will they ever learn? Where have all the soldiers gone? Long time passing, where have all the soldiers gone? Long ago, where have all the soldiers gone? Gone to graveyards, everyone. Where will they ever learn? Where will they ever? Where will they ever? When will they ever learn? When will they ever? Love lifted me, opened my eyes and made me see all of the things in life I didn't know. Love lifted me, opened my eyes and made me see all of the things in life I didn't know. Oh, he changed my life. He changed my life. He changed my life and made me new. When I was walking in a world of sin, far from that peaceful shore, love lifted me. Then I was living in sin. We didn't rise no more. He changed my life. He changed my life. He changed my life and made me new. Come on. Love lifted me, opened my eyes and made me see all of the things in life I didn't know. I didn't know. Love lifted me, opened my eyes and made me see all of the things in life I didn't know. Oh, he changed my life. He changed my life. He changed my life and made me new. Love lifted me, something on high. He heard my descending cries. Love lifted me right from the waters. I know he rescued me. Saint, here am I. He changed my life. He changed my life. He changed my life and made me new. Yeah, love lifted me, opened my eyes and made me see all of the things in life I didn't know. I didn't know. Love lifted me, opened my eyes and made me see all of the things in life I didn't know. Love lifted me, opened my eyes and made me see all of the things in life I didn't know. Love lifted me, opened my eyes and made me see all of the things in life I didn't know. Oh, love lifted me.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Purpose. A round of applause for Purpose. Thank you. Okay, before we bring on our next group here. I'm going to turn it over to our Executive Director of Community Minority Cultural Center, Mr. William Lott.
Good afternoon, everyone. I just want to do some acknowledgments to the folks who have contributed to our booklet you see on the tables here. First off, James Crichton from the James Carrigan from the Law Office of James Carrigan. And again, we want to acknowledge our distinguished guest and guest speaker, Dr. Patrick Tutwiler, the Honorable Mayor Thomas McGee, the Lynn City Council, State Senator Brenton Crichton, State Representative Dan Cahill, State Representative Pete Capano, General Electric, as usual every year, who contributes to us, Outward Bound from the Zion Baptist Church, Dr. Reverend Kurt Brian Jones, Senior Pastor, the Zion Baptist Church, Bethel African Methodist Episcopal Church, the Lynn Housing Authority and Neighborhood Development, Buzzy Barton, Counselor at Large, and for his ad and love and memory of Virginia Barton, Local 201, working for the Voice of Working Families, Eastern Bank, Building Bridges, the Greater Lynn Senior Citizen Services, GLIS, Pete Capano, who always contributes every year to us, Lynn Community Television, who's here filming today, KIP Academy, skip this one. Lynn Museum, the Essex County Community Organization, ECCO, the Economic Development Industrial Corporation, EDIC, Local 739, the Firefighters Union, the Lynn Police Department, Brian LaPierre, Council at Large, Council at Large, Brian Fields, Rick Starboard, John's Oil, who contributes every year, and Solomini Funeral Homes. Thank you so much for your donations and continued support over the years.
All right, thank you very much for that, Director Lott. Appreciate that. Acknowledging all of our donors here that support the CMCC and all of our efforts to try to advance community relations and cultural events for the city throughout the year. We also plan to have a very full calendar for Black History Month. So if you look into your program books, you'll see a list of events that the Community Minority Cultural Center will be doing throughout Black History Month. We try to even target some of those during the school vacation week. But there's things throughout the month of February that the Community Minority Cultural Center will be sponsoring for the city to come out, and all these things are at no cost to anyone, all right? So we're trying to educate and empower people about cultural activities in our history. So please, if you can, come out and see some of these events. At this time, I'd like to bring forth Miss Michelle La Poetica.
But you could give a little bit more of a clap than that. You can do a little bit better than that. First of all, purpose. Raise your hands. They took it back. They took it back. 3 men, 1 mic. That's how it was back in the day. And to those of y'all that are on the city council, city officials, we'd like to do something like that underneath a street lamp like they used to back in the days down in downtown Lynn. So I'm just putting a little bug in your ear. Y'all feel good? Y'all feel good? Okay, so I know that there's a lot of people in this room that can do a lot of the things you've seen up here already. but they hide. They hide from themselves. They hide from their families. They hide from their friends. A lot of people go through their whole life being able to sing like an angel, and nobody even knows. Some of y'all are poets. Your wife, your husband might not even know. I've seen it happen. But if you have a gift, if you consider yourself or classify, even if it's in the comfort of your own home, if you classify yourself as a creative soul, then baby, you got nothing left to do but shine. Because we live in a world that tells us what we can't do, who we can't be, who we should be, never once asking us what we want. Who we want to be. What do we want to do? What fills our soul? And to each and every one of you that hides behind their gifts, I ask you, if Jesus still talked and still walked, what would he say about the cruel world we now live in? To see all of his sacrifices sacrificed to a world of sin, futures looking grim, lives now trimmed from exercising, trying to dodge bullets of evil while trying to keep a peaceful existence. Simple things taken for granted, many a seed planted in soils poisoned by deception. There's no light to bring fruit to conception, much less birth. If your souls could be measured at this point, what would be its worth? For day after day, we seem to take for granted all of the gifts and seeds by life planted, opportunities falling like autumn leaves in the wind. Close your eyes, extend your hand, pull out your shirt, create a basket with your skirt. Dream something, want something, do something. Don't continue to let life pass you by. For since birth, you've seen seconds turn to minutes, minutes to hours, and those hours to days that fly by, waiting for you to embrace that epiphany. Drop blinding clouds and finally see. You have and will have until your last dying breath the opportunity to be a fruit-bearing tree, willing and able to nurture all those in its proximity, but instead, we consciously turn our deaf ear or turn our backs out of fear, knowingly choosing not to be. And unknowingly choosing to become Jesus' tear. What if you knew that your time was near? Or that someone else's clock was winding down? Would you choose to be an adjective, a verb, or a stagnant noun? Smile or frown, be a prince or a pauper? And would you, could you, should you not just wear, but even take a look upon a jewel-bearing crown with the intent to wear it? Tell me now how you see fit, that we've lost our belief in love, truth, and loyalty, respect, honor, and affection given genuinely. How easy it is for them to stand there and expect from me when they can't even look in the mirror and see what Jesus would see. The greater good spiritual Robin Hoods of their dream robbing capabilities, but actually, that's what being a creative soul has done for me. Mad random, I know, but as my thoughts wander to and fro, I ask you, each and every one of you, if you truly knew that the sky was your limit, how tall would you be willing to grow?
All right.
Now, with that being said, there's a lot of businessmen and ties in here that had a dream to be something more than just. To be something more, to be a councilman, to be a mayor, to be a state representative, to be a banker, to be a doctor, to be a lawyer, whatever it was that you once dreamt of being. Something happened, there was a catalyst. Made you believe enough in yourself to fight for it. Let us be your catalyst today. I'm going to call somebody up. Moses, M-O-E. He about to lead y'all to the promised land. All right. Because that's what we do. If anything you take from our performances today, let it be that working 9 to 5, 8 to 3, whatever your shift is, paying bills is not what it's all about. You need to take a moment, because self-care is not selfish. Take a moment and look at yourself and ask yourself if you turn into the person you wanted to be. If there's anything you're going to take from any of us here, let it be that it's okay to dream. If there's any of you right here that are here knowing what you're here for, today we're here to celebrate a man that had a dream. So the least you can do is have a dream of your own and fight for it. If you ain't got nobody in your corner that's willing to fight for you, here I is. All right. Here I is, baby. I'm right here. And there's that table. And every creative soul in this room has your back. And is here telling you that if I could do it being a single mother of 3, suffering from chronic pain, I haven't seen a pain-free day in over 20 years. My back hurts right now.
Well,
but I'm here because this is what it's all about. Ladies and gentlemen, I give to you M-O-E, and that doesn't just stand as short for Moses. That's, how many police officers do we have in the building? Any police officers? Well, what's your M.O.? Your motive operandus or operandi. What makes you move? What moves you to move? What inspires you to move? Method of expression. Mind over everything. Fire. Because if you can think it, it's already happening. Fire. Go on, baby.
I am MOE. I am Moses, aka MOE. I'm beyond humbled to be here in front of y'all right now. I never seen this happen. I've always just dreamed it. I never really thought that this would be real. So thank you. Voice. Can y'all hear me?
No. Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So I just want to do 2 pieces today. Since it's MLK Day today, and one of the many strong themes about today is diversity. My parents, they're strong believers in the Christian faith, and Dr. King played a huge influence in my father's life. My parents are from the Dominican Republic, so when they came here, they were moved with Dr. King's work and his missionaries. So this song is actually, it was one of my father's favorites back in the day, and as you can tell from appearance, I'm very nostalgic. I like that time. So he showed me this song, and ever since it kind of just stayed in my heart. So I just want to share it with y'all. Now, disclaimer, it is in Spanish, so if there's any Spanish people in the house and they want to translate, you know, by all means, but if not, just enjoy the song, okay? Thank you.
Enamorado estoy de un imposible, confunde mi pensar, la vana espera. Voy viviendo de ilusión y fantasías, esperando un amor que nunca llega. Ampárame, Señor, porque me deja que yo siga insistiendo en su cariño. Si sabes a conciencias que es absurdo y que jamás yo lograré tenerla, tú que tienes poder ser complaciente y ayúdame a olvidarla, te lo ruego. En tus manos yo pongo mi dilema, de ti depende si me salvo, si me pierdo. Tú que tienes poder ser complaciente y ayúdame a olvidarla, te lo ruego. En tus manos yo pongo mi dilema, de ti depende si me salvo, si me pierdo.
Enamorado estoy de un imposible. Confunde mi pensar, la vana espera. Voy viviendo de ilusión y fantasías, esperando un amor que nunca llega. Ampárame, Señor, porque me dejas que yo siga insistiendo en su cariño. Si sabes a conciencias que es absurdo y que jamás yo lograré tenerla. Tú que tienes poder, sé complaciente y ayúdame a olvidarla, te lo ruego. En tus manos yo pongo mi dilema, de ti depende si me salvo, si me pierdo, de ti depende Dios, de ti depende, depende.
How y'all feeling? Feel good? Feel good?
Feel great.
Got one more piece for y'all, and then that's my time. The cat's right out the bag, yeah. The cat's right out the bag, hey. Hey. The cat's right out the bag, yeah. The cat's right out the bag, hey. I sugar sweet licorice. Tell me how is this? How do we go from paradise to the opposite? There's distance between the seagulls stricken of consciousness. Negativity's up to digest besides the constant stress. The air's heavy and thick so we barely breathe. Avoid conversation till I hear each other speak. Fearing confrontation leading to disturbing peace. Preferring the blinds over our eyes, choosing not to see each other's purity. Woe is me, oh my sugar sweet. This about you and me. Despite many fights and despites, you prove your loyalty. But life funny, show me things ain't how supposed to be. Even on your worst days, I still called you royalty. Remember when I had you, called you my Haitian queen. The sunshine upon your eyes like a movie scene. The time, the place, the date was great and it was all a dream. Now we passed the days, time now's a pass away. Throwing the shade back and forth and be drastically showing emotions by the week. No Saturdays, same old notions having this week, and it saddens me. Lying and crying presiding, and I'm at the peak. Holding my silences, wanting not let my soul speak. If it were up to me, I bear our cross, count our loss, and right our wrongs. Piece by piece, yearning the logic to conquer this insanity. Loving each other apart with personal agony. Calling me names to do things, I see a strategy. Doing hypocrisy, love mockery, a travesty. Finding the fallacies. Love must grow naturally. Had me thinking I found you to end it tragically. And it's a tragedy. It's still vivid when you told me in secret you want a family. But life happens, B. Things don't make sense to a certain degree. Despite our flaws in the middle, there's no guarantee one can subside and hide from the reality. Question their way of being in search of my sanity. Tried so that conversation so for some clarity. You proved our bond was not strong. It was vanity. It was love without trust and sex with just lust. It's been a battle in between the struggle. Gave you the ball, you made the call, yet there was a fumble. I ask you what's wrong and what seems to be trouble. Dead silence has the response. You wearing the muzzle. You lose your cool, projectively expecting me to be subtle. Exchange letters to feel better. You read and crumbled. Lines drawn, lines crossed, more charades and scuffles. Relationships petty already. I'm done being humble. You plagiarize my feelings, no, and my soul feels smuggled. Piece of my art gone and you not fitting the puzzle. No movement in a unit. And now we're stagnant. Why insist on what's gone where our patience lacked? Then our theses turn feces, don't understand. True to get in tune, but there's always static. I spell it out, you yell it out. We don't understand it. Not to mention acting all dramatic. Hung up on your news feed and stories people be snapping.
Next second, nothing happens, now we democratic till keyword triggers you too cause they're acting off random, got points you won't co-sign. It's always a tangent having to go outside just to roll up organic enough for speculations done. Try to delegate, I'm hoping to God Almighty to guide you along your faith. And as I toast, I also pray down the road, folks, you don't leave them with that sour taste. Licorice, oh licorice, my sugar sweet licorice, tell me how is this? The cat's right out the bag, hey. 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 Thank you.
Now, give it up one more time for Moses and for Moses the soul. That's how it's feeling. Listen, it's not easy to go around this world kicking out ballistics. You know how hard it is to keep that fro spherical?
I know,
and
but
even,
that's a lot of hard work.
ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I'd like to invite you to just lend an ear to the next soul that's coming up. She goes by the name of Eva Davenport. And if you haven't strapped on your seatbelts that are tucked under your seats, you should put them on now, because this girl can sing.
All right, Eva.
I know what's about to happen.
Go on, Eva.
Thank you, Michelle.
Go on, baby.
It's an honor to be here. I'm just grateful to be able to sing on MLK Day, do what I love to do, inspire, perform for all of you, and yeah, share our gifts. You know, it's a gift to be able to come to the open mic that Michelle hosts at Density every week. It's every Monday. So if you are a creative soul like she's speaking of, come there, express yourself, share something that maybe you're uncomfortable sharing out in public. It's a really great place to share your creative self. So let's go with this first track. This is a song by India Ari, if you're a fan of her. She's very uplifting too. You can turn it up. Hey. Little girl with the pressing curl. 8 I got a Jerry curl. 13 and I got a relaxer. I was a source of so much laughter. 15 when it all broke off. 18 when I went all natural. February 2002 I went on and did what I had to do now. Cause it was time to change my life, to become the woman that I am inside. 97 dreadlocks all gone. I looked in the mirror for the first time and saw that, hey, I am not my hair, I am not this skin, I am not your expectations, no, no. I am not my hair, I am not this skin, no. I am the soul that lives within. Oh, yeah. You can sing along if you know the words. Hey. Long hair means curls and waves. Bad hair means you look like a slave. No, at the turn of the century, it's time for us to redefine who we be. You can shave it off like a South African beauty. Got it in a lock like Bob Marley. You can rock and stay like Oprah Winfrey. If it's not what's on your head, it's what's underneath and say, hey, I am not my hair, I am not this skin, no, I am not your expectations, no. I am not my hair, I am not this skin, I am the soul that lives within. Ask yourself, does the way I wear my hair make me a better person? No. Does the way I wear my hair make me a better friend? No, no. Does the way I wear my hair determine my integrity? No. I'm expressing my creativity. Breast cancer and chemotherapy took away her crowning glory. She promised God if she was to survive, she would enjoy every day of her life. No, on national television, her diamond eyes are sparkling, bald-headed like a full moon shining, singing out to the whole wide world like, yeah, I not who we are on the outside, we're who we are on the inside. So really just believe that. Anybody you see, you know, our eyes are an illusion, but really our soul is what is our power. That's where we come from. That's where you find what you're passionate about, what you love. My soul tells me to sing. My soul tells me to write, you know, inspire. So that's what I do. I'm like, okay, soul, I'll listen to you. These next two songs I'm gonna sing for you are original songs that I wrote. And if you like my music, you can find it on eva.importmusic.com. So let's play this next track, please. Give it up for my boyfriend over there DJing. This song is about standing up for what you believe in, being strong. I walk along this staggered road with 50,000 miles to go. All in my face dirt has been thrown, yeah. Well, I am the queen that no one knows, yeah, yeah. I walk beside the Holy Ghost, and in my heart the fire grows, yeah. Open eyes and open soul, I'm not afraid to stand alone, 'cause I'm a fighter, yeah, hey, I'm a fighter, yeah. Y'all can clap along with me. You underestimated me. War is a lie, peace is the key, yeah. For love I'll fight eternally, no. But never harm a soul I see, no, no, oh. I seek to make a brighter place, where every eye is blind to race, yeah. Women can rule and men can raise. I'll make it there for my dying day, 'cause I'm a fighter. I said you can't stop me, no, no, 'cause I'm a fighter, yeah. Wow. Yeah. I got a little chant for y'all. You can go along if you got it. Stand tall, fight oppression. We need recognition. All my fighters, preach loud. Don't let them shut you out. Act now. All my fighters, I'm gonna say it one more time. Here we go, stand tall, fight oppression. We need recognition. All my fighters, oh, come on, preach loud. Don't let them shut you out. No, act now. All my fighters, because we are fighters. We are fighters. Oh yeah, we are fighters. Oh, hey, come on, yeah. I'm gonna keep on fighting, yeah. I'm gonna keep on fighting. Not gonna give up, no. I'm gonna keep on fighting for a peace. I'm gonna keep on fighting, baby, 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 yeah. Woo! You can cut that. Thank you so much.
for you. I recently, this past year, I started rapping too. So I sing, I write my own songs, and I just started rapping last year, so I'm gonna rap a song for you. And this is just about my purpose specifically, and not losing sight of what you're really here on this earth meant to do. Just keep fighting for who you are and what you're meant to do. Let's do it. Can you turn it up a little bit? I'm sure. Hey, oh yeah, 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 yeah. Hey, yeah. I'm trying to be real shiny like a gold Rolex watch. Ariana's shoulder when she rocked a Fenty body, lava shoulder looking all sexy. I'm working 9 to 5, get my money right, hustle on the side, study with the grind. 21 and will not sleep a wink until I'm flexing in my prime. Yeah, I'm focused on the vision, rock steady on that glisten. Ears open, boy, I'm listening. Tongue thirst, get a quenching. Keep drinking at the Ritz, bank account climbing, I'm richer. Stay steady with the positive, focused on climbing the ladder. Drugs cannot be a high like this. Hey, sing along if you know the words. Love cannot be a high like this. Yeah. This my life and baby is that is yeah. Nothing will be a high like this, yeah. Hey, yeah. I'm trying to be real, dip and switch it up, baby. Come in, you walk up in the club and niggas gotta say something. Shorty always on the A. Presentation, I'm chasing after dreams, follow with my heart. Trust what I believe, study with the shot. Only get a couple chances, better hit it right on the pop, yeah. I'm headed towards the stage like curtain up, it's my time, right? Stay shining cause my style bright. Keep gleaming at the dark night. Never listen to a hater. Focused on getting my paper. Watch me, I'm rising, Can't catch me, I'm flying, I'm rising. Drugs cannot be a high like this. Love cannot be a high like this, yeah. This my life, that baby is that, oh that change. Nothing will be a high like this, yeah. We rising, long as you and me, then we flying. Stay focused on you, gotta trust and believe in you, that's the truth. Oh, come on little baby, ride away. Don't listen how what haters say, but you gotta play the game, yeah. Nothing will be a high like this, yeah. Nothing will be a high like this, yeah. Clap along with me, y'all, come on. Hey, nothing will be a high like this, yeah. This, yeah. Nothing will be a high like this. It's my life, baby. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you. Again, my name is Eva Davenport. Please find me on evadavenportmusic.com if you like the music. Thank you for listening. Have a blessed day.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you entertained? Are you entertained?
Yeah.
Do y'all feel good? Do y'all feel good? I
feel great.
Okay, all right, just checking. Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to close it out with what we pride ourselves in calling a soul cipher. So the way a soul cipher works, sometimes these people get up on a stage together, hold a mic, and they've never met. But they go by what they feel. I know a lot of you didn't understand what MOE was singing, because he was singing it in Spanish. But sometimes we have to acknowledge that music transcends all boundaries and barriers. It doesn't matter if you didn't understand your words. I'm sure y'all felt something, right? So that's what the soul cipher is all about. It's about feeling and going with the flow of what your soul feels at that moment. So I'm going to call up all of our amazing creative souls.
All right, Poetica. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we just need your attention. We're about to close out here. A few more minutes of your time. These are fantastic artists. Please give them your attention. Poetica, who we calling up?
We're calling up Choppa Tha Beatboxa.
Choppa Tha Beatboxa.
M-O-E.
M-O-E. Come on, Mom. Limitless, what up, bro? Miss Eva Davenport, y'all. Give us some.
Now, again, life itself begins with a beat.
All right, we're gonna just vibe out. Because none of this is rehearsed.
That's all right. Go ahead. Go on. Do it.
If y'all feel like jumping in, this is your chance. Stop hiding. This is your opportunity.
I have a dream.
What?
We'll make it out someday. We'll make it out someday. We'll make it out someday. Said I had a dream, baby. We'll make it out someday. We'll make it out someday. We'll make it out, yeah. Ooh, I have a dream. We'll make it out someday. I had a dream, yeah. I had a dream, yeah. We'll make it out someday. We'll make it out someday. We'll make it out. So we all had. We'll make it out someday.
And those of y'all that still have something to say or sing, you can come to the cafe tonight and join us, because this is what the dream is all about. I hope y'all leave here today knowing that you today were part of the change that was coming, because it's here. But we still got work to do. So I hope to see y'all participating in these events. Support local community organizations that give love back. Support the Walnut Street Cafe that gives us a home. Support this committee, and thank you to the staff. You girls were amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you for everything you did.
Rollies, that's for rollies, ladies and gentlemen, rollies. Appreciate it. All right, we have one more fun. We're going to close out here. Thank you to all the performers. Michelle La Poetica, Big Mo, Choppa Tha Beatboxa, Purpose, Miss Ava Davenport, yes, and Limitless. Did I miss anybody? But listen, folks, again, we'd like to thank everybody for coming out this morning. Very tough, very icy, but we have to close this out the best way we can. All right, we need everybody to get a seat. We have one more song before the benediction. We need everyone to stand up. We're going to sing the Black National Anthem, folks. So stand up, let's close it out. Thank you for coming, appreciate it. We have the Community Minority Cultural Center now. I now give you the Reverend Adrian Berry Burton.
Thank you. On page 10, we are just going to sing the first verse of the Black National Anthem. Ready? When you have it, say amen. That's page 10.
Page 10 in your program.
Amen.
And don't forget about that Black History program on page 25.
Yes. Ready?
Let's do it.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring. Ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of a new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won. God, you who are light, love, and hope, we thank you for this opportunity to be reminded again that you have not created us to live in the spirit of fear. You have shown us in every generation that we are people of possibilities, fueled by faith and the brilliant light of love and hope. Remind us again that we are powerfully able to create what is good, to pursue holy change, to uplift, to breathe joy into this thirsty world, to be the dream you have of us. Pour again your inspiration into us, that we may courageously be borderless, the borderless, beloved community. Beloved, let us dream together and be the dream for this generation and the next generation to come. And together let us say that this will be true by saying amen.
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 Amen. All right, thank you, everybody. We wish you all safe passage. Thank you for coming out supporting Community Minority Cultural Center. Thank you to Density. Thank you to Purpose. Thank you to all the artists here. And thank you all for coming out supporting. Again, we look forward to seeing you all next year. Drive carefully. And don't forget about the Community Minority Cultural Center and all its events it's having for Black History Month. Also down at the Lynn Museum, Tyrone Brown, what's that event that's going on at Lynn Museum? For Black History Month, Lynn Museum is going to be, they're going to be collaborating with the CMCC doing some things, but they have something specifically here. Lynn Museum is going to be doing some things for Black History Month. Lynn Black History Story Share. Okay, so anyone who wants to tell their story about their history right here in the city of Lynn, come on out and share this. What's the date on that? March 2nd. On Saturday from 10 to 2, March 2nd, down at the Lynn Museum. All right?